Hari Om. In continuation to the previous video of the DB scan algorithm, let us see the DB scan algorithm steps, how it is being proceeded. All these points we discussed in our previous video. So let us just browse through. The two parameters that are used are minimum points and the epsilon. Then we have discussed what is density at a point P, what do you mean by dense region, what do you mean by epsilon neighborhood of a point, epsilon neighborhood of a data point. Then we discussed in DB scan a point can be classified as a core point. So core point is nothing but if the epsilon neighborhood of the data point is greater than or equal to minimum point, then we call it as a core point. And this is a example of a core point. All these red dots are core points because the minimum points is equal to 4, and if you take all these data points, the neighborhood will be in this particular region, right? So in this particular region, if I have 4 red dots, then I am going to call it as a core point. You take this point, and in this region we have 4 data points, and if you take this, in this particular region it is having 4 data points. So all these are called as core points because the epsilon neighborhood of these data points are greater than or equal to 4. Then a point can be classified as a border point if it has fewer than minimum points, but it lies in the neighborhood of another core point. So this one can be called as a border point, and this can also be called as a border point because it does not have the minimum points epsilon neighborhood of this region, right? So this region is having only lesser than minimum points. It is having only 2 points here, and if you take this data point, this is the epsilon region, and in this region it is having only 2 data points. So obviously this cannot be a core point, but this particular point lies in the neighborhood of another core point, so it can be called as a border point. Then the point can also be classified as a noise if it is completely away from the data points. So it is not assigned to any cluster, it is singled out, so you call it as a noise. Then we discussed what is directly density reachable, and in my previous video I showed some corrections also in the density reachable. So it was earlier directly density reachable, but please do correct it as density reachable. So directly density reachable, data point Q is directly density reachable from a point P if the epsilon neighborhood of P is greater than or equal to minimum point. That means P is a core point and Q is in the neighborhood. So P here is a core point. You can see it is in the dense region, in the center of the dense region. So it is a core point, and Q is a neighbor of P. So I can say Q is directly density reachable from point P. And the other one is called as density reachable. This is where I asked you to correct. Q is density reachable from point P with respect to epsilon and minimum points if there is a chain of points P1 to Pn. And the condition here is Pi plus 1 is directly density reachable from Pi. So that is what is shown here. Q is density reachable from P, right? And Q is P1, this is P2, and this is P3, right? So P2 is directly density reachable from P1, P3 is directly density reachable from P2, So I can say Q is density reachable from P. That is what it shows. Q is density reachable from P. Q is density reachable from P because P1 is directly density reachable from P. Q is directly density reachable from P1. Therefore, I can say Q is density reachable from P. Then we have also seen what is density connected. So this is the example we have already seen. Q and P are density connected because there is a common core point for both Q and P, and P and Q are density connected because there is a common point O which is density reachable from both P and Q. So P and Q are density reachable from object O. You can see P and Q are density reachable from O, a common point. So we can say P and Q are density connected. Now let us see what are the different steps in DB-scan algorithm. So it starts with an arbitrary point which has not yet been visited. So take the arbitrary point and all the neighborhood information of this particular arbitrary point will be retrieved with the epsilon parameter as the base. That is the first step. And in the second step, if the point, the arbitrary point which is selected in S1 contains minimum number of points with the epsilon neighborhood, then we can go for clustering, because if it is having greater than or equal to minimum points, it is going to be a part of a dense region. So we start the cluster formation. Otherwise, the point will be labeled as noise, right? Initially, it will be labeled as noise. And this noise point can be later found within the epsilon neighborhood of a different point, and thus it can be made part of the cluster. Okay. The concept of density reachable and density connected points are very important here in this particular step. Then if a point is found to be a core point, so if this becomes a core point and this is a noise. So if a point is found to be a core point, then the points within the epsilon neighborhood is also part of the cluster. So all the points found within the epsilon neighborhood are added along with their own epsilon neighborhood if they are also core points. Now in the next step, the above process continues until the density connected cluster is completely found. So the step 2 and step 1, step 2, step 3, all these, sorry, not all these three, all these 3 steps will be continued until the density connected cluster is completely found, and the process restarts with the new point which can be part of the new cluster or labeled as noise, right? So you select one arbitrary point, check whether it is a core point or a noise. If it is a core point, you are going to, all the points found within the epsilon neighborhood will be added along with their own epsilon neighborhood if they are also core points. And this process will be continued until the density connected cluster is completely found, and the process will restart again with the new point which can be part of the new cluster or labeled as noise. So these are the 5 steps in the DB-scan algorithm. Now the same algorithm is given by Arun Pujari this way, which is our prescribed textbook. So the algorithm will have the given database as its input and the 2 important parameters, epsilon and minimum points. And we are going to repeat the process for all the objects in the database. So if the object is unclassified, if the object is marked as unclassified, then we are going to call the function called expand cluster by passing the object and the database and the epsilon and minimum points value. So let us see what is done in the function expand cluster. So here we get the object. So this is an arbitrary object which we select in the first step, right? So we are going to find out the epsilon neighborhood of that particular object, find the neighborhood of this particular object, and if it is less than minimum point, we are going to mark it as noise, otherwise we start the clustering process. So the else part will be the clustering process, right? So that is what we do here. If the point contains minimum points, we start the clustering, otherwise we mark it as labeled. That means here the point contains less than minimum points. That is what we do here, right? So if it is less than minimum point, we mark it as the noise, otherwise we start the clustering. So what we do, we create a new cluster ID and we mark all the objects of this particular neighbor with this particular cluster ID, and the candidate, if the candidate objects are not empty, we are going to again select an object, and for that object again we are going to put the neighbors. So that is what is said here. If the point is found to be a core point, then the points within the epsilon neighborhood is also part of the cluster. So that is what we do here. We take the candidate objects and select the object from the candidate object, and for the current object again we are finding the neighborhood, and if this neighborhood is greater than or equal to minimum point, then this again becomes a core point, right? So all the objects here will be marked as the classified object, and we are going to mark it with the particular cluster ID, right? And all the unclassified object will go into candidate object. So we repeat this process of adding all the objects into classified or unclassified category, and until we get the density connected cluster. Okay, so that is what is given here in this algorithm. So the all the objects will be considered, and for each object which is not yet grouped into any cluster or which is not yet marked, which is represented as a noise, we are going to expand the cluster, and in expanding, for each object which is coming into the expand cluster function, we find the epsilon neighborhood. If it is lesser than minimum points, then it is marked as noise. Otherwise, if it is greater than or equal to minimum points, we go for the clustering process. So in the clustering process, as the step 3 says, if a point is found to be a core point, right? Core point if it is greater than or equal to minimum point, then it becomes a core point. Then if it is a core point, and all the points found within the epsilon neighborhood will be added along with their own epsilon neighborhood if they are also core points. So that is what we do here. For all the objects, we check whether the object is also a core point. If so, that is also marked with the current cluster ID. So this process will be repeated for all the objects given in the database, so that the cluster will be growing. The cluster will be growing until the cluster becomes a dense region, and then we will get all the density connected data points, right? So with that, we are completing the DBSCAN algorithm. We will discuss STIR algorithm in the upcoming session. Thank you.